Good evening, SW.
How you doing, Nick?
Good. How are you? It's been a long time.
It's been quite some time.
It's been like 2 months. 2 months. And we already
Yeah, I
have
can't.
people here. We were a couple, well, I guess a few seconds late. We have freaking awesome and Eagle Steve and Mr. Boudreau. I always butcher that. How are you? And Perry Martin. And I saw somebody that's new in here, Serpent Silver. And we have, let's see if I missed anybody. And Knox Stack. Happy Saturday. We do miss
Always
Lisa.
good to see new people.
We
Miss
do
who?
miss Lisa. Miss Lisa. Hi, Bob. And Jimmy. And I think that says GMP Coins. Good to see you. Long time no see. And I know I missed somebody. Is that Lester? Good evening. So we're supposed to have a special guest this evening, but he's not here yet. So maybe he'll join us in a few minutes. So what's new, SW? We had the Morgan drop.
Oh, we did, and that was epic.
Yeah.
We had the Morgan drop, and you're expecting, to receive some Morgans, right, Nick?
I am. They were supposed to be here Friday, and then I expected them. Hi, Snipey Mikey. I was going to call him Mike, but hi, Snipey Mikey. That's how I know him. So, yes, they were supposed to be here Friday, and then they said they were going to be here yesterday or today, and now we're expecting them Monday. Not surprised.
Yeah, that's quite the delay from the post office. Usually, when they say, well, at least whenever I had a tracking number for United States Mint products, and they say it's supposed to be there a certain day, usually it's pretty good. So
I'm supporting. I'm sorry, Wood. Oh my goodness. Well, how do we know it's not Kiko Surfs? Good to see you. That's my buddy right there. We are always following each other. We always seem to find each other every single day, but I love it. Yeah, how do we know it's the post office and not the US Mint's problem?
Well, I mean, the post office picked it up. After the post office picks it up, how can it be the United States Mint problem? I mean,
I know. Pokerossi. And then Donovan, it's good to see you. My Morgan's in peace. I have got to make this chat bigger, SW. Are you going to have to help me out here on some of these comments?
Okay. Somebody said, Perry Martin said, I need a Morgan.
You need one.
Which kind of Morgan? Which date?
Metal Dragon. It's good to see you.
Let's see who else we have here.
Faces. I just made a face. I didn't mean to. Bigger chat. I just made my chat bigger. I just made a face too because SW was explaining that it's not the US Mint when I was trying to blame the US Mint.
Yeah.
But my Morgans went from Tennessee to Maine to New Hampshire. Then how come I didn't get them? If they were mine and was like held up in Chicago, and then they went to Massachusetts, and then before they even get to my address, they have to go to Southern Maine, Eastern Maine, and then they come up here. So we do run into each other in every stream. My Morgans in peace arrived last week, still in the box, trying to decide to send in our grade. Did you look at them?
Yeah, did you look at them? It's going to be very, very important, especially with these Morgans. Need to look at them. Don't send them in blind, please.
And we have Stacking Surfer is trying to come in, but he's not connected to the stream. Rainbow! And I just saw somebody else too. Oh, what are the possibilities? It's good to see you. It says device not connected. I know he's trying to stream from the beach. Hampton Consultants. How are you today? It's good to see you.
Wonder if UPS has picked up extra traffic already with the threat of IPS strike. Internet, huh? IPS?
Well, I do
Andy
know
Resnick.
that UPS had been nickel stacking. Good to see you. I do know that UPS had been threatening to strike. I don't know if that's the same thing that they're talking about. Andy is here, and you know, I'm always up to something, Andy. I like turtles. Fluff. Oh, he's so funny. Oh, thank you, Hampton Consultants. I'm not, you can ask SW. I'm not feeling that way today because I'm having a very bad hair day. I had decided to go swimming today, and I kind of lounged in the pool a little bit too long. So, yeah, I was trying to get that figured out. And then I just said, you know what? We just got to go on. It's not going to change anything. Eagle Steve and Walt Money. UPS will be striking. They are 60% of shipping. Yes, I had heard that they were going to be striking because I heard that at work because that's going to cause a lot of havoc if UPS does go on strike. But it may give United States Postal Service some more business. And we all know how their fees have been going up. So maybe that would help combat that a little bit. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, goodness. Yes. Yes, Hampton Consultants, I do. I found you, Nick, through Stacking Surface Stream. Well, thank you. We're waiting for Stack. Let me see. His mic is muted. So as soon as he can unmute his mic, maybe he should be. Oh, Hampton Consultants. You're such my favorite. Yes. Hey. I think I heard him for a minute. Hi.
Give me a minute. I'm going to get to a better reception place here. I'm at the beach.
Yes, I agree. Kiko Surfs. I don't think they could handle it either. But I bet they would try. They would absolutely try, I think. And I think they would try.
I mean, they can't even handle getting you your package on time now.
I know, right? Silver Lunatic.
Silver Lunatic.
And I had my first package lost in the mail that I was sending to Gunny. And it's been 2 weeks and he has not received it. And of course, this is the first time I haven't had a tracking number because I didn't need a tracking number. It was just a quarter I was sending him. So I wasn't going to go, spend a lot in shipping for a quarter. And that was the first time that he's something's not gotten through the mail that I sent to somebody.
The Coin Tribe.
Yes.
Is in here. Well, they're in here.
Oh, this might be Gunny. I don't know. It might be Can too. But yes, that was the first time I've had a package that I mailed to somebody and they have not received it.
Now that they're in here, whoever it is, Can or Gunny, I just wanted to let them know that I picked up the package that they sent to me from the Tribe auction, the charity one that they had a while back. I picked that up today, the Silver Eagle, from the post office, from the P.O. box.
Oh, what'd you get?
The 2020 American Silver Eagle.
Oh, that's right, from the auction. The it was I don't remember what it's a charity auction, of course, but I don't remember the charity that they were given to. But they do a lot of good work over there as far as charities. So there's Gunny. If we can send people over to them as well, because they have a lot of donations, and then they have a great auction. They're doing a lot of good work. So I would like to send people over there as well.
Let me see if I can find their link. I can drop it in there too.
So Ray said, let me see. Pierce says, I'm missing a package from Copper Owl that was sent in February. And I hear that every once in a while. I'm just very shocked because I've never had any issues whatsoever. I used to send some stuff too for coining around because they have the only free duck races that I've ever seen. So they take donations and they give prizes. So even sending them stuff, I've never lost a package. Jamie Fox, good to see you. I hope you're not causing trouble or in any trouble. I'll count it stolen. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say because how easy would it be to really steal from the post office and steal mail? Especially, I mean, cameras are everywhere, right? BH Customs, good to see you. There's cameras everywhere. It's Big Brother everywhere. How can you steal anything these days? You can't even steal off somebody's porch.
Right.
You're going to be recorded. So I'm not that I'm advocating to go steal off mail off people's porches. That's a big no-no, people. So don't do that. But and don't tell them I told you to try. But you know, even with these cameras that they have on these door bells now. So I don't know. I don't know how people get away with that.
You know, and I refuse to get one of those because who knows who is watching you, right?
And that's right. And then also I heard that your neighbor can tap into your Ring camera. So
Yeah.
I don't think I really want to be sharing information with my neighbors. Well, I don't really have any neighbors. The closest neighbor is my bear den, or Bigfoot, whichever.
I agree, but also the people who run Ring and those other kind of companies, it's been known that they have spied on people too. So,
well, yes, and that is why we don't have Alexa in my house. And when we built our house,
same.
I wanted to make a smart house. Hi, Stacking Surfer, your mic's muted. I wanted to put, a smart house, or have the Alexa and have everything. And he's like, no. And I was like, you told me no.
Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you good.
So
how are you?
As a technology guy, I'm in technology. That's what I do for my day job. I can tell you it's not a good idea to have any of those in your house. So if you do, I have an Apple one that we use for music. It gets unplugged the second it's not doing music. We do not leave it plugged into the wall. Yep.
So, but with that being said, I would think that your Apple would be more secure than any other device.
I think so. I think it's more secure. Alexa has been known to record people's conversations and send, there was a situation where they sent an entire hour of a recorded home conversation to another user.
Yes, and there was also a trial going on where there was a murder trial, and they actually heard the murder through Alexa.
Oh, goodness. That's not good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in this instance, I suppose it could be good because they could catch the person in the, but still, they're spying on people within their homes. And I guess, that's not, I don't like that. Who wants to be spied on in their own home?
Right. And my daughter, she had one for her bedroom because she wanted to watch her cat while we were gone. Yeah. And I said, absolutely not. We're unplugging that.
Oh, to watch the cat. Oh, like a nanny cam.
Yeah.
A kitty cam. Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you this one story real quick, and then I want to introduce Stacking Surfer and look at the beautiful background that he has, and that's not a green screen. That's real, you guys. It's how beautiful. Oh, stop it. Mark, grade 8. Scott, it's good to see you. So I tease and say I have the first Alexa because I do have my Christmas tree in Christmas and my bedroom light clapper.
I saw that. I've seen that.
Yes. So I can clap on and clap off. So the nightstand lamp, so that way my husband doesn't like it though when I come in and I need to clap it off and he's asleep. But we didn't get a smart house, so we have to compromise somewhere. So
and if anybody wants to see her clapper, I believe it's in your shorts, isn't it, with the Christmas tree?
Yes. And then because we did it on Diane's cabin for a Christmas special. So let's introduce Stacking Surfer. And he is in California, and as you could tell, with the palm trees and the beautiful water. And yeah, I'm a little bit bitter and jealous right now because look at my walls. I know I need to put some stuff back there. Hi, Perry. Thank you for stopping in. So you want tell us a little bit about yourself. I met him through.
Sure. So a quick plug. I just got this T-shirt, came in the mail. If you guys can see that. So that's my logo. So I'm kind of excited about that. But I've been stacking heavily for about 3 years. And what I mean heavily is as a practice. You know, if I go back to being a kid, when I was a kid, I got silver dollars and, you know, started getting into coins and stamps, you know, a long time ago. And then many years went when I didn't do anything. And then the last few years when I started seeing things getting crazy in 2020, in 2021 is where I started to kind of get into what we call stacking. But I'm here in Southern California. I recently started a YouTube channel about 3 months ago. And I've had a lot of people telling me I should start one about a year and a half ago. And it just took me a long time to decide, would I show my face? Would I not show my face? You know, how would I make my channel and how would I put it all together? And I just decided to bite the bullet, show my face, and have fun making videos at the beach. So if you guys have been to my channel, I do a lot of videos down here at the beach. This is San Clemente. And this summer, I'm hoping to go all the way down to San Diego that way and up to Santa Monica that way and do some fun videos for you guys about silver and gold and stacking.
So and that's where we got the surfer part of the stacking, huh?
So the surfer part means two things. One, it was a name that was available. No one was using surfing in their stacking names. So I thought, hey, this will be fun. I'm here in Southern California and I like to surf. The second one, if you go to some of my intro videos, is when you go to surf, the principles you use in surfing are very similar to stacking. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of things you've got to do with understanding, you know, the market in collecting or in stacking and in buying precious metals. It's kind of the same thing with surfing. You tend to do some research. You need to know what the temperature of the water is. Are there waves that are out there? Because sometimes it's flat, other times there's massive waves. And then you're trying to figure out which kind of surfboard are you going to take out. And even when you get out there, they come in sets. And it's very similar to investing in silver and gold, where you will have price fluctuations up and down all over the place. And sometimes they're minor fluctuations and other times they're larger fluctuations. And so over the 3 years that I've been stacking, you know, I've been able to see a spot price of around $16, $17 for silver all the way up to 26. And for gold, I've seen it kind of in the very high 1600s up to almost $2,100. And if you can understand some of those patterns, you can buy at better times. Yeah. And you can also sell at better times if you need to sell. And for me, I'm always looking at that. I buy and sell. I do have an eBay store. And for me, I want to be my own bank. So I tend to have more precious metals as a percentage of my portfolio than maybe a lot of people that I know in my circle that are pretty heavy in equities and stocks. And for me, or even money in the bank. So I like to buy low and I like to sell high.
Don't we all?
We try.
We try the best we can, and we do what we can. I guess though, eBay, they have high fees though, right? So
it depends. I have a store, so my fees range between 8 and 5%. So if I sell a gold coin, I think it's anything that's over $1,800. It kicks into just a 5% fee with eBay. Yeah. So selling gold coins on there's not too bad. Everything else, if you don't have a store, is 13%.
Right. And then they get you on other fees as well, because then they transfer money to your bank, and then they want to, charge you for, let's advertise for you. So let's do a percentage. And then they'll come back and say, well, we will repost for you if it doesn't sell. And then let's add more advertising charges. So, I mean, it can get up there a lot more than 13%.
Yeah, I think about 20% is probably the average.
Yep.
For me, I'm averaging closer to 10%. I don't do a lot of advertising. I will play around with the price a little bit. But most of the stuff I'm selling on there is collectible, semi-numismatic coins like Star Wars coins. And so I'm not having to compete as much because the mintages are much smaller on what I typically sell on eBay.
Right. So bins or auctions on eBay?
I only do bins now. I've done 2 auctions, and I ended up selling a Spider-Man coin from the New A Marvel series that came out a few years ago.
Yeah, I know. I wanted that.
Yeah, so it sold for $150, and I actually paid about $165 for it. So I lost money on that deal.
Wow.
Like 30, 40 bucks on that. And that was an auction, and there was only one bidder.
Oh, I wish I would have known that.
I did post it. You must have missed it. I posted it on Stormy's group to say, hey, if anybody wants to go get this, get it right now. And those coins are going for, between $180 to $200 right now.
And that's right now, because I do foresee those even coming up even more. Hi, Jersey Stacker. I think not, maybe the next couple of years or so. I mean, it's something that you would have to hold and sit on, but I do think eventually, so are you into numismatics? I know you like gold, as do we all.
I am.
And I saw that you did purchase the new Morgans as well. We were talking about that at the beginning. And I'm still waiting for my coins. I did not get mine today they were supposed to be here yesterday. So I'm getting them Monday, and I will open them live because everybody knows how excited I am about getting them. They're not my favorite. I like the old better. And, I call it 2020 is the 2022 leap year series. I just think that's odd where you have 2021 and then
yes,
and then 20.
Honestly, I think our government doesn't want to mint right now. I don't think the current people in power care about minting. They seem to be not producing enough eagles, and they didn't produce these other coins last year. It's bizarre.
No, but they did have the mintages went up this year though.
They have gone up a little bit, yep.
Yeah. So.
But I don't think the eagles have increased, but I could be wrong there.
Eagles. I don't know. That's the person to ask. Silver Wolverine.
The Eagles are high this year. The Eagles were slightly. I mean, of course, this year's not over. This year, the Eagles are mid to demand, basically, even though currently the West Point is unavailable. But last year, they produced for the West Point almost 750,000. So a little over 700,000, and this year they're close to 700,000 in total. So it's a lot.
Yeah, you're the one that's always complaining about the eagle mintages. But I don't.
I did bring a surprise with me. If you guys want to see an unboxing today.
Well, let's see. I'm anxious to see how many people have these spots. I'm seeing a lot of people open them and they're not happy with the condition of the coin. So if you'd like to unbox them, I'd love to see them.
It's not the Morgan or the peace dollar. It's a different coin. That I can show you guys. But let me tell you about my eagle. About those that I did open. I did open all of my Morgans. I got 3 of them and 3 peace dollars. And they're all fine. No spots, no blemishes. They look good enough to be sent in.
All of them. So are you going to send them in?
I'm debating on doing that right now. I have ordered a set of PF70s that are guaranteed 70s already.
Oh, well, but then the fun of it is sending your own in to see if you can get that 70. It's the chase, right?
It is. I want to have a guaranteed set for myself. And then I want to see what I can get back. I recently did that with comic books and was pleasantly surprised that I got some good books back. I have not sent coins in from myself yet. I've ordered them and had people send them in for me before. Mm-hmm. But I do have a lot of numismatic coins. Mm-hmm. That's probably majority of my stack is pre-33.
Yeah, well, that's where I began was in numismatic coins, and that's my first love. And then, of course, I think the stacking eventually I started doing that afterwards. But it's just because I just love coins. Now, if you don't mind me asking, and you don't have to answer this question, how much did you pay for the 70s?
Way too much. I think it's in the low 300s. To me, it still seemed like way too much money, but I figured I would do it because I wanted to have a perfect example and specimen for my deep stack.
So was that a pre-order,
So those,
or was that?
I do not plan on selling.
Okay, so were those on a pre-order?
It's a pre-order, yeah.
Okay, so I wonder if that may have come down after the fact.
70s of what? Of which coin?
The 2023s.
Morgan's and Peace? Oh.
Yeah.
My connection's getting kind of buggy here.
Hi, Gold Maples. Good to see you.
If you can hear me okay, so.
We can hear you fine, yes.
So I didn't hear everything you said, but I'll kind of guess from it. I'm not a big fan of 69s. When I get 69s, I sell them. I like to keep the 70s. And I've seen the price range from about 280 up to about 360 for people on pre-sales for a set for one piece and one Morgan. And you know, a lot of it comes down to the trust of the person that you may know. So the person I'm buying from is the person I have acquired from quite a few coins in the past, and he always sends them in good condition and they come quickly. And so I'm willing to pay him versus trying to save a few dollars on eBay, not knowing for sure that the person's going to have them in hand, and not knowing for sure how reputable they are.
And so you're supporting a friend as well. So that makes sense.
Yep.
I get that. Yep. So that's not a bad thing. I have, you know, pre-sales on eBay, I do, you know, take a little bit of an issue with.
Be very careful with those.
Oh, and I would not do that, especially Gypsy Wolves. Good to see you, especially on the Morgan and the Peace Dollars 2023. But Silver Wolverine, he's an expert in the 2021s, and I say that all the time because, you know, he's got the monopoly in them. So, yeah. I think he bought every MS-70 there was available in 2021. So much so that I asked
that's why
him
I'm having a hard time finding them, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. So don't even get me started. Seriously. That's the whole thing. That's like
we can discuss it if you want.
No, I will kick you out. I'm just kidding. I have kicked him out one time. He was on the stream one time, and I think Polly Buck was with us, and there was Mr. V Rose, and he was showing us some Morgan 2021s, and I just was like, "You're done."
Well, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what the price of the 2023 Morgan MS-70 does because of all the issues so far that we've seen.
That's true.
It's still early in a grading process, and I just checked the PCGS and NGC population report a couple of days ago, and both are still in about the 1,000 range population, and about less than 100 69s. But now is when the time is going to be where people are going to start sending all their coins into the grading services. So far, all we have is the early submitters for the big dealers, the early releases and stuff like that, and the advanced releases.
I'd be interested to see if all the dealers got all the good ones, and then we get all the leftovers.
Yeah,
because the one thing I'll say on the one that I ordered too, it's a first day release for like $325.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what the United States Mint does is they have what they call the ABPP, Authorized Bulk Purchase Program, and there's 18 dealers who are in that program, and they're allowed to get their coins before the general public, but they have to pay a 5% premium. But they get them before anybody else, and they're able to send them in and get them all graded.
Yeah.
And then what also was different this year than in 2021 is that they also did the 40 coin bulk packs to different dealers. So they were able to purchase them in 40 coin bulk packs, and they did roughly 200 of those. and then they sent all those in for grading. So then now all the general public, people who receive them, at their house, now they're going to start sending them all in, and that's where we're going to see that population grow. The question is, are the 69s going to grow more, or are the 70s going to grow more? And that's what's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Mr. Doughboy and Susie because it's his birthday, and it's a big milestone birthday. He's 50 years old. So I just want to give him a big happy birthday. Yes, and he's another Mainer, so we know he's pretty awesome. So happy birthday, Mr. Doughboy, and his dog Susie is a trip. So you want to go to his channel. She's the cutest little thing, and she's a jailbird. She is on the lam, so just be careful. Oh my god! Oh my god! You're right on the boardwalk, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the only place the internet connection works decently. Hopefully, I'm not too pixelated.
We have a beautiful view right behind you. We have it's fine. We have the water right behind you, and I love to be in the water. I was in the water up very close to when we were supposed to start, and I had to hurry up and get ready real quick. But yeah, and SW and yes, and it was a very bad hair day because I was in the water a little bit too much or a little too long than I should be. Gypsy Wolves, you're going to be 50 as well. So we were going to talk about counterfeit coins today, and I think you even brought some with you. I think this is something that's a huge topic that we should all be talking about within the community because we're seeing them. I'm seeing them come across eBay a lot. I know SW said the same. And your friend picked them up, correct?
He did. So I've got another stacker he's about 2 months into stacking, and he's going crazy. He is, I got to figure out how to tap into him a little bit more. He goes by SoCal, I think SoCal Stacking, and then he has a second one that's Giga Stacking. Mm-hmm. And he's from Brazil. He lives here in San Clemente. So he found me from Stormy's channel. Stormy did a shout out to say, hey, go look out it's Stacking Surfer's channel. And he saw that I was filming by his house day over.
Oh, okay.
And so we connected, and we've done quite a few trades of coins. He's becoming quite the expert on maples. So, his nickname may end up becoming Privy. He's learning a lot about privy marks. He's finding maple coins that have populations in the 100 to 2 to 300 range, and he's buying up PF 70 coins at like $80. I don't even know how he's doing it. These coins are going for $200, $300, $400 on eBay, and he's finding them for $80. So I'm hoping to learn some secrets. But he had a friend that bought a tube of these eagles right here. Hopefully you can see that okay.
Oh, yes. Let me, I'm going to make you large here.
Can you guys see that okay?
Yes.
The sun's to my back, so it might be a little hard. But I did drill into this, and it's copper-based. So on my Signalytics machine, it comes up as 90% silver. So the first clue is it feels exactly like silver, guys. It actually feels about the same weight. It is a little bit different on the weight, but you have to look at some very close similarities here to notice the difference. And I'll see if I can hold it up for you guys to see it. But there's a little bit of a difference where the flag is behind Lady Liberty there. Hopefully you can see the details of that, but it really would take a trained eye to know the difference. The sheen's different. Right. The way that it reflects is a little bit different. But if you are new to stacking and you went to if you order these on eBay for, I think his friend bought them for about $28 a piece on eBay when the Eagles were going for high 30s. Mm-hmm. So he thought he was getting a $10 deal per coin. And it turns out he basically bought, 1 ounce of copper that's silver plated. It looks like silver. If you didn't have a trained eye or you didn't have another eagle that was real to compare it to, if you don't have one of those pingers, or if you don't have a Sigmalytics, I'm not even saying the name right, Sigma Analytics machine, you can be
verifier.
Sigma Verify. You can be very easily fooled by this.
Right.
My wife could not tell the difference looking at
Right.
it until I pointed it out to her.
And that's why that becomes so hard to detect, is because they do put a little bit of the precious metal in there. And that does, of course, fool a lot of people. And especially if you're getting them on eBay and you don't know who you're buying from. And that's a big deal.
It's
also
totally true.
Yeah, and like what I was telling you earlier, Nick, is that if you do a basic search on eBay, just search whatever you want to search. But for me, I was searching 2023 Morgan and Peace dollars. And then in between those listings, you'll see American Silver Eagles coming from China and coming from Hong Kong. Stay away from them.
Yes, but sometimes you just don't know either. They're sending them over to the U.S. to be sold in the U.S., so you just don't know.
That can be true too, but if it's coming from those places, for sure, avoid them. And so my friend's friend, what he's doing now is he's looking to drill a hole in these and basically turn them into keychains. And he's trying to sell them for $10 a pop to see if he can at least recoup some of his money.
So with these coins, though, there's something different. They're counterfeit.
They are counterfeit.
So are they something that they should, you should call your local law enforcement and let them know, because it is a crime. It
is a crime. So, but hey, Silver Wolverine, what would you do in that case? So I don't know this. I don't know the person very well, but what's your recommendation?
Where do they come from? Did they come off eBay?
I'm not positive, but possibly.
Okay. Well, for one, if they came off eBay, I would report the user. I would definitely do a eBay, report it through eBay, get your money back, because you can absolutely get your money back if it did come from eBay because of the eBay buyer protection. One thing that's good about eBay is protecting the buyer. There's not so much protecting the seller, but they are good at protecting the buyer. And they will reverse, they'll rule in the favor of the buyer, and they'll give you your money back, one. And then two, if they notice that they have a lot of complaints, or if they notice there's a lot of listings like that, they'll likely, in all likelihood, suspend their account. And I've seen that done before, where I've seen a user selling a lot of fake stuff, coming from China and that. And then in a couple of days, their account's gone. But then they'll create a new one. And then they'll list them under a different one. So if it came from eBay, I would definitely report that user. Unfortunately, if it's coming from China, there's not much our law enforcement can do because it's overseas. But if it is in the United States, then they could be in serious trouble, because according to the law, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Nick, I'm sure I have that information.
I do have that information. So I don't know about the eBay, because I've never bought anything that was bogus on eBay. So I guess I would have reported them. Did he report them?
I don't know. I'm going to need to check in with him and see if he did. My friend did share with me another coin, though, that has copy on it.
Okay.
And I thought that was kind of interesting, because at first glance of it, it is a mercury dime blown up. And it felt like silver. It looked like silver. But I've never seen a silver coin that's authentic that says copy on it before.
And that's because it's a replica. And as long as it has copy on it, then it's legal. And it's more of a novelty. Yeah. But then, of course, it's huge. We would know that's not right.
It's not a dime, so it's not the original thing.
Yeah.
But
and as long as it has copy or replica on it, even if it was a small, it's legal. And that falls under the what was it? The Hobbies Protection Act.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know what year that was, but as long as it has the word copy
Ni-
or replica on it. Do you have the year?
1983. 1983.
Okay. And that was put in place because of novelties and coin collecting. And so, yep, it was a Hobby Protection Act. And it's long now on the Eagle. Did it have the number of 999 on it?
Yeah, let me take a quicker look at it here. So on the fake Eagle, we have 2023. We have In God We Trust, and underneath that we have a W for West Point. And then on the flip side, on the obverse, we've got, let's see, it's got $1, 1 ounce fine silver.
Okay.
It does not say 3 nines on it.
It does not.
No, but I don't think the regular Eagle does either, though. Yeah, my other
That
regular Eagle does not.
That Eagle actually, so the W, where you seeing that at?
If it's on the front, it's
On the obverse, yeah, on the obverse, that's actually, so what that actually is that's the initials for Adolf Weinman, and that's the designer of the Walking Liberty.
Okay.
And
So-
that actually
That
is
makes
not
sense.
on, and that's actually not on the Type 1 Eagles before
It is not.
2021.
Yep.
Yeah, it's only on the Type 2 Eagles.
So the W would be
Okay.
on the opposite side, correct? If it was a West Point.
Yeah, so if
So
it
you
was a
would have
West
the
Point,
W. Yeah.
yes, yeah. So if it was a West Point
fine.
Eagle, and West Point mint marks are only on their numismatic products, so either the proof American Silver Eagle or the burnished, and that W is on the reverse underneath the Eagle's wing. On the new design, it is.
But a lot of people do get the W confused. I mean, that's a lot of people.
Hey, I
do.
thank you so much. It does help. So if I look at it, I don't have my glasses on, but there are 2 symbols. There's one under the tail feathers of the eagle, and there's another one that's just over to the side of the branch. There's some initials that are there.
Yeah, that is probably the initials of what's her name? Emily Dampstra is the designer of the reverse.
That's awesome. Thank you.
But that too would be hard to tell as well on an eBay picture, I'm sure.
It could totally
Yeah.
be. So the other thing I think too is, I mean, the weight's a little bit off, but I think it's important to know what it should be. You know, what should the weight be?
Mhm.
And is it going to come in as 90% silver? Or is it going to come in as 3 nines fine silver or 4 nines fine silver? Knowing some of those facts can be very helpful for you. And knowing what the sound of silver sounds like, all of those things can help you once you receive the coin to double check it.
Right, but you really don't know that until you get the coin in hand, not as
You don't know until you have it
online, right? No. So it does help. So it does help to visually know too what you're looking for as well.
My question is, since it's 90% silver, did you do the magnet test on it? Does the magnet stick or no? Did you try that?
Yes, the magnet did not stick whatsoever.
Oh. Well, and he bought, how many did he buy? I think he bought it quite a bit, right?
He bought 20 of them.
Oh my word. Can you imagine?
So whole tube.
And I bet that was such a huge disappointment. How did he realize that they were fakes?
That I don't know for sure. But he did realize that it was a fake. So by the time it got to my friend that's down here, he was already alerted that they were fakes. So I think he reached out to Giga and told him that he mistakenly bought a whole bunch of fakes, and what should I do with them?
Oh, sorry, Raymond.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sorry I missed it with Raymond said it, but thank you, Andy.
Does the
go ahead.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
Is the fake ASE has the missing read at the 3 o'clock position?
It's kind of there,
79.
guys, but let me see if you can see it here. It's not it's faked, if that makes sense. Like the reads, definitely you can tell by looking at the reads, they look different. The the larger reed does not have any kind of a divot in there. It's just, it has a bigger space.
Let's see. Okay.
So, you know, let's see if you guys can see that or not.
Yeah, we can see that. Yep.
So it is there, but it is not, if you have a real eagle,
Oh, there, we got you back. We couldn't hear you there for a second.
oh, okay. So if you look at this,
Yep.
does not have.
Oh, we can't hear him again. Rocky Superstars with us, and we had 79 come in. Stacking Surfer, we're not able to hear you. And Celtic Knot. There you go. Now we hear you like in and out.
Now. No.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes. And now you're gone.
There. Okay. Shoot.
Now you're back. I'm curious to know how much he paid for the 20 fakes. I know you mentioned how much, but
Yeah, high 20s that.
You're in.
I think you said high 20. I think you said high 20s.
Oh, there he's gone.
Is this better?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I'm going to take the camera off right now. Maybe the bandwidth is getting a little off, but
Hey, count.
I believe it would have been $28 per coin that he paid.
Wow. And 20 coins.
20 coins.
Gee whiz.
So, you know, I mean,
that would make me
paid a lot of money.
He paid a lot of money, and that would make me sick. I mean, I would literally be sick. Well, that does leave us all with a lesson to be learned, though. I mean, you really can't trust a lot of people that you're buying from online.
And the one thing I'll put out there is I've never bought any coins from eBay that aren't low mintage coins. I've only bought stuff that's going to be really hard to replicate because there's like 300 or 3,000 or, you know, maybe 15,000 of them. People don't really bother with counterfeiting those coins very much.
Well, I have purchased or sold coins, but I've never purchased coins on eBay. That's just something I haven't really tried.
I've purchased coins off eBay, but when I do, it's usually through one of the bigger dealers selling on eBay.
Yep.
Not usually from one of the smaller sellers. And if I do happen to purchase from a smaller seller, it's usually, you know, pay attention to the feedback, even though that's not a, you know, foolproof anything, but still look at it. But I even don't do that. I just buy from the bigger sellers and the bigger dealers, and you're more than likely not going to get anything fake.
That doesn't have a 5-star rating. I just won't. If it's 99.9, I won't buy from them on eBay.
Yeah.
And Metal Dragon, I'm not buying coins from Maine anymore either because I got to pay taxes on them. Yeah, and all bullion and everything else. So I'm not buying any more coins from Maine. Now, I'm sure the 2021 Morgans, none were purchased from eBay, right?
No. They were all bought from the United States Mint and sent in for grading myself.
Yeah.
Most of them 70s, by the way. So 2021, there was a lot of good quality in 21.
Oh yeah, and especially Denver, right? They're awesome.
Except for Denver.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think Denver should be valued at that price either, because there are a lot of 70s, just not as many 70s as the others.
Well, I just showed that you're not Mr. Smarty Pants. Well,
Thanks, Dick.
I don't think the CC should be valued what they're valued either.
But but the privy mark is cool, I think.
It's
Is
not
it a
cool.
mint mark? No, I think it is.
Why? Why?
I mean, it's unique. It's unique. How many other mints put a privy mark of a mint mark in the mint mark location?
Who cares? I mean, open the Carson City Mint and mint low mintages from there. They could do it.
I agree. I would
So
be
that'd be cool.
100%. I would be 1,000% on board. The problem is the United States Mint is about making money. They want to sell as many of them as they can, and they don't want to deal with customer complaints.
Oh, come on. You're always talking about low mintages, but then when we want to talk about opening the Carson City Mint
No,
and then
I agree. No,
now the mint wants to make money.
no, I agree with you. I'm on board. I would love to see a Morgan dollar from the Carson City actual mint and have a mintage of 20,000 or 50,000. That would be great if I could get one.
You see, that's just it. If you can get one,
Well, if anybody, I mean, I would be happy for anybody who can get one, but it's going to be difficult to get, and that's the thing.
I get it, but then of course, then you're talking about people could flip them if they wanted to, make a lot of money,
Yeah.
and then collectors could have them. They doesn't have to be
Yeah.
very high in mintage, and I think that would even
Yeah.
be funner than all these high mintages that we've been seeing lately. And I think
I agree.
that's where it would have been cool, and that's where I would have tried my hardest to get one.
I agree. I mean, I can't disagree with that. I mean, it would be awesome if they would make a real CC from the actual, I think it's press number, I think it's number 1, they call it. And it would be great.
Yeah. And then if they wanted to make money, then do the privy mark, do the, CC, and then whoever didn't get them from the Carson City Mint, they could buy those. I mean, there's ways around it. They could make a lot of money that way. I mean,
I feel like Canada seems to do a lot of that with their rules.
Yeah, but I do believe you would need legislation to make the Carson City Mint a actual minting facility again.
I haven't looked that one up. Have you?
I haven't, but I believe that would be the case, but I'll have to look more into that. But I believe that would be it because it's not a minting location anymore. So the only thing that they do make is.
And how hard would that legislation be? I mean, written up and passed.
Well, I mean, how hard is it to get legislation passed for anything now?
Well, yeah, that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah,
something else too, I thought that was very interesting, that Stacking Surfer. I learned about them through him, and I really didn't grasp the idea of these vaults. And I mean, I was thinking when you said vault that you're thinking buying from APMEX and then put it in their vault, or buying, coins through, another company and then just putting it, underground. But why don't you explain what, I mean, I wasn't thinking where they were going to go, but there is more to this. And I think it's actually a good idea, especially in your area where you have to worry more about flooding and fires and have to maybe possibly get up and move quick.
For sure. So a couple things I'll throw out there. I live in a very conservative city in a very liberal state. I happen to also be in a county that's pretty conservative. So we have not done any kind of defunding of the police. If anything, we've hired a lot more police. So the county has hired more police, and all police are county sheriffs here in Orange County, California. I'm seeing probably 3 times as many police as we did in 2019 on the streets.
That's good.
With that said, we're carrying something between, I think it's 75 and 80% of all the homeless population in the United States is in California, with a fair amount of them in Southern California and a lot of them up in the Bay Area. And so, I'm going to show you the other side of where I'm at real quick. You can see all these condos and houses up here on the other side of where I'm at. And
wow,
a lot of these people
in that area.
A lot of these people have problems with homeless people stealing from their back porches, breaking
Oh.
into garages and taking things. So
Mhm.
the closer you are to the beach and the freeway here, the easier it is for people to grab things and head to Mexico or go into LA. We happen to be dead center between LA and San Diego, exactly dead center. So we're about an hour and 15 minutes from each place. So we're really not in the city, but we're still pretty dense. The county I live in has 3 million people. The city has about 60,000. And where I live, I'm in fire risk. I can only find one insurance company that will insure my house. And we've had Chilean cartels last year rob somewhere in the vicinity of 8 to 10 homes, and they took over $500,000 in watches, jewelry, gold and silver, and handbags from people's homes. So I've had to step up on my security to where I've got cameras, motion detectors, brake sensors. It's now monitored 24/7. And in addition to that, I think everybody should have a dummy safe, as well as 1 or 2 real safes in their house if they live in an area where there's higher risk. And then for me, I also have a son that likes to make rap music and has friends that are rappers that are a little sketchy. So for me, I decided to take majority of what I have and I've put it into a private vaulting facility that is underground, that is monitored 24/7 and is fully insured. So every coin, every bar that I put in there is insured, and it's been videotaped by me, and it's also been put into a safe deposit box that I have the key to. So is there a little bit of trust? There's a little bit of trust because, you know, I have to trust that no one can make a copy of the key. I am not holding it myself, so there is a little bit of risk of third-party counterparty risk there. But for me, I can sleep better at night. I can go on vacation and not worry about that. I can show my face on YouTube and not be too worried about someone thinking I have a bunch of metals at my house. So I usually just go get a little bit out, film some videos, go put it back in. And that's what I have to do for where I live. And it's not cheap. It's very expensive. It's probably annually, it probably costs me more than most people's safes that they have in their homes.
Right. And you said something about selling as well.
What do you mean?
Maybe I misread that, but do you tell them that you want to have put up something for sale and they'll sell it for you?
Oh, this facility will not, because it's a safe deposit box facility.
Okay.
There is another one in Los Angeles. I forget the name of it. It has like a golden turtle on it, and I've seen them come on, and they have their own YouTube channel too. I forget the name of it. Yancey's the guy's name that does the videos, and he'll do one called In the Vault. And they're based out of Cayman Islands, but they co-locate within multiple Brinks facilities in the United States. And so they have one in Los Angeles. What you can do there is take your metals there, put it into a box, they'll seal the box, and it is segregated. They'll do an annual audit. And if you want to sell your metals there, because they're always located by one of the big gold hubs, they will sell the metals that you have there, and they will also allow you to purchase metals and put them in there. So what I have is much more of a, think of a bank safe deposit box, but more secure, more private and hidden. In order to get in there, I had to go through like a full FBI background check to even be able to rent in that facility. And they have multiple people that are there monitoring stuff. But when you go to these other facilities, they're much more robust, where there's, you know, just gold bars on a rack. It's in a big room and you have separate boxes, but it does allow you to liquidate things. So I am looking into a possibility of having some metal stored there. Things that would be more generic, like say eagles and buffaloes, both gold and silver, that you may want to do some of your own banking, being your own bank, but you may want to have funds that can go quickly into fiat if you need to. That's really where I see the benefit of that. Otherwise, I think this safe deposit box idea is a little better. And then personally, I would rather just store them at my house. If I felt like I was in a safe situation where I could store them at my house, that's what I would do. And I would be looking at a, you know, nice gun safe or a TL15 to TL30 safe. And if you go to my channel, I've got a really good video Maximum Safes in Santa Ana was really nice to spend 30 minutes with me taking
Mhm.
me through all their safes. So I've got a very comprehensive video you can see there that'll give you some good advice on safes, and they range anywhere from, let's say, $800 up to $15,000. You know, the more expensive ones, you'd need a tank to break into them. They're nearly impossible to crack. And on the lower end ones, you know, it's going to take someone a little bit of time. They do have some fire protection, but they can be very good safes. You can pick up a good safe between $800 and you know, $1,200.
Well, I would really like to be there to buy one of those safety deposit boxes if somebody doesn't pay.
Okay, I'll have to get you the info.
You know, like Storage Wars, Vault Wars.
Like an auction.
Yeah. So I would that I'd be all about. I
You'd
would go
buy
to
that? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep. They do.
Yep.
This place is it's the #1 place in the country. They do have people from all over the country that fly in here, including New York, that fly in and deposit their metals here.
Really?
And most of what they have
Yeah.
is gold and silver. Yep.
I would think that they would have something similar in New York that they would have
Nope,
available. But
this
you know,
is- yeah.
New York seems like a big place, but if you go to upstate New York, it's similar to Maine. So maybe it's not as big as I think it is at times. But I just thought that facility was very neat, and that's something I would look into as well. If I had a similar situation to where you live, I mean, nobody's going to come out here and look in my home. And if they do, we have home security, and really they're going to meet my 38 special. So, but if I lived in something similar, I would probably look into something as well. And then also the fire issues. I mean, of course, we hear about fires and wildfires and people having to, and I believe there was somebody in the community, right? Silver Wolverine, what was it? New Mexico. What was this?
Down in Mexico you're talking about?
Yeah, he had a similar situation where there were fires and he had to get up and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he shared that story with me. It was about a year and a half ago, I think, or it might have been somewhere around there, summer of 2022 about. And I did a video on that, on the story that he shared with me. And what happened was there was a wildfire and he had to evacuate.
Yeah.
And he said he had so much silver, he wasn't sure because he needed a dolly, a truck to get all of his metals out of his house. So from that point on, he said he was able to get it all. He got it all out. None of it got, harmed. But from that point on, he said he's no longer going to stack silver. He's going to stack gold, something where if he had to leave in a hurry again, he can pick it up and walk out with it and not have to worry about a dolly and a truck.
And that reiterates too, because even when I first started stacking, I said, I do not want weight. I don't want a lot of weight because I am keeping all that stuff at home, and I don't want the weight because I want to be able to carry things with. And so, so I kind of readjusted how I was stacking and what I was doing. But I think that we always should look and readjust on what we're doing anyways. I think it's makes sense. But I do have a question for you. Gypsy Wolves would like to know, Stacking Surfer, where should he go eat in Red Vine? If you had any recommendations. He's 15 minutes from where you are. So and he's a foodie, so he would like to have a recommendation on a good restaurant. Do you have one?
I'm not sure where Red Vine is, so you got to be a little more specific for me. So I'm in San Clemente. Yeah, you got to tell me the city. Red Vine, if that's a city, I'm not familiar with it.
I'm not sure.
If you're in a neighborhood or an area, then tell me the city and I can possibly give you a good recommendation.
Okay. He's still in the chat, so we'll see. So
we'll see something. So one thing I was going to point out though too, Nick, that's important with fires and safes is your gold is not going to melt in a house fire. It will not get hot enough to melt the gold. It can scorch it though, so it can mess your coins up. It's also not going to melt silver. It can scorch silver. However, if you have graded silver, if you have graded gold, that plastic will melt. And that will create a very big mess on your coin. It could even damage your coin to the point where you've got to melt the plastic off, and then you may even have to end up melting the coin down to do something else with it. So for me, most of my numismatic coins are in that vault for that reason, and then they are insured for the value of what the coins are. So if there's a fire there and they get destroyed, I get the cash. I can go buy something similar.
Right, and I say that I know it's not a house fire, but plastic on especially mint sets, it's gross on these coins because I got some sets from California and the plastic was melted into the coin, and you had to peel it back, and so of course, and the coins were destroyed, in my opinion. So I do not like the plastic on coins unless it's graded, but so with that being said, I have a mint set here. This one is a 1970. So we have the Kennedy that's a 40% silver. And I do have all these lists I go through once I break the coins out, as I say. And I will go through and check them for errors because you can't really look through this plastic and really see because your eye, it'll play tricks on your eyes. So, oh, Andy's telling me no. Oh, this makes me feel so bad. But Andy, I don't listen to anybody. So I'm just going to do this real quick. So, so it's not painful for Andy. Break it open. Thank you, Eagle Steve. So, oh my gosh, this was easy. So let's see. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Look how pretty these coins are. Oh, yeah. Andy's not going to talk to me anymore if I continue to break these sets. And this one was courtesy of Freaking Awesome. So thank you, Freaking Awesome. Nick Plummer has the best crack. Yes, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell Plummer you said that. He's got some of the funniest fans when it comes to plumbing. So, what is it? I'm not going to even go there because I just thought of a couple myself. So do you collect mint sets, Stacking Surfer?
I do have a couple of them. One of my philosophies is to have some really cool specimens of different kinds of coins just to keep for my kids or grandkids. My dad started doing that years ago with just bills. So he kept a bunch of bills for kids and grandkids before they started colorizing the U.S. money when everything was green. And then he's kind of kept different versions of it. Now, it's all fiat, guys. It's not the same as doing a mint set that's made out of silver. But I do have a few of them. I do like them. Yep.
Yeah. So, well, don't send them my way because they won't last in my house for very long.
You're going to break them, right?
I'm going to break them. I mean, I really see no point. I mean, I guess there is a point, but for example, like this one right here, this is a 1988, and these coins are so toned, you really can't see, but I'm not into toned coins. I mean, some I am, if it's a pretty tone, but a lot of them, I want to see them nice and shiny. And these coins right here, you can tell the air's already gotten to them. So this one would be really easy for me to break because I'm sure the air's gotten in here. But it's not. It's not as easy as I thought, but there was air getting in there somewhere. Oh, yeah.
Maybe the plastic was stronger in 1980.
Yeah, this was it wasn't everything. Wasn't everything. Oh, my word. So today, I know I have not shared this with anybody. I had to buy a new refrigerator. It's going to be delivered on Monday. My refrigerator is 4 years old, and it broke.
Wow.
So, I mean, the extended warranty didn't cover the parts or anything like that. It was a Kenmore. Now, I know Kenmore has been bought out by LG, but it's a genuine Kenmore. So to get the parts, that was extra money. And then we had somebody come over and fix the fan. And then so when they fixed the fan, it shorted the motherboard. So it's going to take a lot more money to fix that refrigerator than it was to buy a brand new one. 4 years old. So that wasn't fun. So these coins I just opened. And this was another mint set. Thank you, Freaking Awesome, courtesy of Freaking Awesome. that the Durbans sent to me from the Durbans auctions. And if you like numismatic coins and you really want to go see another auction, the Durbans auction is where I like to go on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And they're great for numismatics. And I like Empire Precious Metals for more modern type collectible coins, silver coins, and he sells a lot of gold as well. My fridge was 20 years old. I keep fixing. You can fix things that are 20 years old because it's not going to have a motherboard probably in there that has all this stuff that's connected and smart fridges and all that other good stuff. Flag City Parts, it's good to see you. So Samsung, you can literally tap your phone into your refrigerator. I don't know why people want to do that, but you can.
Yeah, they have them smart refrigerators, and I want nothing to do with it.
So what are you going to tell your refrigerator? Make more ice for me, so when I get home I have more ice. I mean, what's the point?
It's going to tell you if you can have the milk or not. That's the problem.
And it probably eventually it will, right? It probably will, or maybe it'll tell us your milk is going bad. I don't know. It's just something I don't even. If you could do it with your dishwasher now, I could see how that I could. Well, you have to put the dishes in the dishwasher to tell it to wash them, I suppose. The day that will happen, where the dishwasher will literally put them in the dishwasher for me and then start it, then I'll get a fancy one. So, oh my gosh, where did I see that? I saw people putting coins in the dishwasher. I think it was on a YouTube video that they cleaned their coins in the dishwasher. So what do you think about cleaning coins? Yes or no?
Don't do it, but I did do it.
You did? On what?
So one of the first things I ever bought was a big bag of Mercury dimes, and some of them weren't in very good condition. You couldn't even really read them very well. So I probably put about $4 of them into soapy water and a toothbrush to clean them off, and even used a little bit of baking soda before I started watching YouTube. And about half of them I still ended up sending back to SD Bullion, which they then sent me some other dimes in return. But I didn't do it to a whole lot of coins. I did it to just a few that were pretty gnarly. But I think it's kind of historic to leave them dirty, personally. But that's also why I like to have, like, high mint state 65 specimens of coins, as well as proofs that are 70 and modern. Is I like to have a really cool, very good looking version of it. And then, for most of my stack, it doesn't matter so much.
Yeah.
I have a lot of peace dollars that are just VF rated.
I do have another question for you, but real quick, I wanted to say hi to Can Collectibles, and then I saw Furry Plants and Coins. But I wanted to share this. I got this from Can, and this is his channel round, and I haven't been able to share yet. So I wanted to show.
Awesome.
And this is really neat.
That's cool.
Isn't it very cool? Yes.
Yep.
So he sent this to me, and I love the back, of course. Triple C fine. I just thought this was a really well done channel round. I thought. I just think it's classy. I like it. So I wanted to thank him for this, and I've had this for a little while, but I've had it sitting right here so I could show. And hi, Polly Buck. Go ahead. Did you going to say something, Silver Wolverine?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, along the lines of cleaning coins, I wouldn't clean like junk silver, constitutional silver, stuff like that. But if it's bullion, like American Silver Eagles, I would, if they were tarnished, something like that, and you just wanted to have a shiny bullion coin, I have no problem cleaning that because it's not a numismatic.
Yeah.
So, Stephen Surfer, you're on the beach. Have you done any metal detecting?
Not yet, but there's actually two things along those lines that I want to do. One is I'm looking into putting together a gold panning expedition this fall, possibly. And pulling some stackers in with me. I'm just running out of time to get it all set up, so we'll see if we do that. The second one is I have been thinking about getting a metal detector because I've lost 5 wedding rings right here.
Oh
surfing.
my gosh.
So
Gotcha.
I moved away from gold and silver into tungsten, and I can buy them on Amazon for like $30, but I lose them every time. On the West Coast, the water is freezing. So this water here may get up to 69 or 70 degrees max, and maybe 72 if it's a warm year. Right now, you're in the low 60s. And when I surf, I won't surf when you need to put a hood on. As soon as you got to put a hood on, it's too cold. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But I do have booties and I have gloves I'll wear when I go surfing, and I will surf down into about 55 degrees. If I don't happen to have a glove on that day, the rings come right off. It doesn't matter what they are. Your ring's gone if you forgot to take it off. So I guarantee you there's gold in that beach. Yep.
I have a question. Have you ever seen a shark in the water?
I personally have not. There are great whites in the water here right now, all the time.
Right now?
So if you look down here, can you guys see the edge of, if you look to the side of that clock tower, there's a point that goes out there. And at that point, there is a marina. And the baby great whites like to hang out there because a lot of stingrays go there. And it's a nursery. So about 3 years ago on this pier behind me, let's see if you guys can see it there.
Hi,
on that pier, we had 24 great whites sharks. They could see 25 of them from the drones up above.
Oh, wow.
We're circling the pier. They had everybody get out of the water for that. If there's a shark sighting, they will put a sign out. There's only been one attack back in 2017, and it was a lady that was in a black wetsuit with big, long diver fins, and she was chasing a seal in the surf, and she got bit by a great white. She looked like their food. We surf with them all the time. They don't want to eat us. They don't like us. And they're younger here, so they're only about 19 feet long. And they're looking down.
Only
I know, only. It's not like Jaws. They're not the big, huge great whites, but they're looking down for their food at the ground.
Right.
The food's at the ground. So they will come between where surfers are in the beach, though. That will happen. So we have very few shark bites in Southern California. You have more in Northern California where the adults are. And then when you get to the East Coast where you have a lot warmer water, you tend to see a lot more aggressive sharks like in Florida and the Carolinas.
Yeah, you know, and the reason why I asked that is because I just saw on TV, or it was actually on YouTube, what was it, 2 weeks ago, I think it was. I think it was in Florida, but there was a whole bunch of kids in the ocean. I'm not sure if you've seen that or not. And there was a shark that was swirling around all of them. It was like a scene out of Jaws, literally.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It can be scary. I mean, I when I go out in the water, I don't think about it anymore. But you know, when you're younger and the first few times you go out, you're looking down and you're hoping you don't see anything.
I hate snakes. Ew.
It is a risk. So here's how I mitigate it. It's the same with like stacking. When I stack, I don't just buy one kind of coin for one reason. I usually stack. In my other videos, I talk about I stack 9 different ways. And it's the same thing when I go surfing. I make sure there's someone further out. I make sure there's someone to my left and to my right. I don't go surfing alone. And so my odds of being eaten are reduced by 75% automatically.
I must make an announcement. Polly Buck has just said there is no great white sharks in Michigan.
They don't exist in Michigan. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Polly. We were talking, we were doing some IMs on sharks last night, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah. So there's no sharks in his fresh water. He's so stupid. Yes, we have sharks even on the coast of Maine, believe it or not. But they have snapping turtles. Thank you, Polly Buck. In Michigan, we know, and Silver Wolverine has also told us plenty of times that Michigan is the best, and they're the best at everything, and they have the best.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to Michigan. I need to come up and visit you guys at some point.
You
And
are,
Maine. I haven't been to Maine either.
Maine, you're missing a lot, but Michigan, you're not missing a lot. I've been up there too. I mean, I'm talking about what I know.
You're missing the Wolverines in the state of Michigan.
We get the Georgia Bulldogs, 2-time back-to-back champions, so national champions. So let's go.
Not in Maine.
I mean, I almost used my middle finger. I did have to refrain because I almost did use my middle finger on that one, or even maybe the F word, but no. In Michigan, I've been to Michigan several times. My best friend lives in Michigan, so I used to go visit her quite a bit. And I mean, it's where I was, it was flat and there was nothing to do. And not even, I mean, they had a McDonald's. That was awesome. The airport was nice. Detroit, I didn't care for. It's, but anyways, that was my take on it. So, but where I went, you know, I've heard it's not a very, I went to Bay City. I did see Madonna's house, her childhood home. I got to see that. But other than that, there was nothing there. So it's starting to get dark over there, Stacking Server. A little bit.
What are you talking about? Look, the sun's up there.
Clouds look a little dark compared to what we saw earlier.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a storm coming up from the south. So I'm happy the sun's out. This whole year has been very wet for us. I'm having allergies. I usually don't have allergies here. And what'll happen is the water's so cold and the air can be so warm, you get fog. So we get a lot of what they call marine layer, and it'll go miles inland. And so until about 3 weeks ago, we hadn't seen the sun this year. Except for maybe 1 or 2 days.
Tiger, Stacker, come in. It's good to see you. And that's funny you say that, because when I think of California, I'm thinking of indoor, outdoor living. I'm thinking the Kardashians leaving the doors open all the time, and it's always beautiful. Yeah. And
it's a little bit more like that in LA. So my climate is like San Diego. We're much more Mediterranean. We're more hilly. We're not flat. And we also tend to have a lot more cloud coverage, and it's cooler. So year round, our average temperature is 72 degrees. And about the coldest I've ever seen it get here is maybe low 40s.
Oh, okay.
And that's at night.
So
and the high is probably, 95 degrees. Maybe we get there for a couple days in the year, but most of the time we're kind of sitting between 60 and 75 degrees.
Well, we've been on here a good hour and a half, so I'm going to end it with a trivia question, and let's see who gets it first. Whose coast is bigger, the state of Maine or California? Do you know the answer?
That sounds like California is massive, so I would say California, but I'm assuming Maine. Maine may have a lot of inlets, and it might have a lot of different bays, which California doesn't have very many of. We're pretty straight.
Look, everybody picked Maine. Maine.
I figured it would be Maine.
I know, right? So I tried to make it more of a trick question yesterday, and it kind of backfired on me because Maine does not have the largest coast, and it's actually Alaska. So I learned a lot about the nation's coast, and I can't remember. Then it went Texas, and then it went. I think Maine is 4th, but Alaska is number 1. What did we win? 79. You'll have to come up on the stream, and I'll tell you, because she won't do it. Come on up. I will give you a special.
Come on, Terry.
Surprise. Yes. Come on the stream, and I'll give you a special surprise. Randy is a smart man. Yes, he is. Yes, Polybot. But well, thank you for joining us, Stacking Surfer. And it was
fun. Thank you.
It was fun. And don't buy any counterfeit coins.
No, don't.
That was the moral of this story.
And I honestly, I just buy from reputable people that I have either gotten referrals from, other people that I know, or that have pretty big stores.
Yeah.
So
well, word of mouth.
That's what I try to do.
Word of mouth is still the best advertisement, right?
Yep. It is.
And referrals, word of mouth, and I know that I ask a few people before I even purchase from somebody if they've purchased from them before. I've heard get have a good night, Andy. You should visit Maine, Victor. The fishing is great up here. You can do saltwater fishing and freshwater fishing. Just saying that for Polly, but because he keeps saying, we have sharks here, but we do have fresh water as well. So, well, anyways, thank you. And thank you, chat. We will see you soon. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, Silver Wolverine.
Thanks. Thank you, Nick. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.